Republican Anthony Rogers has no previous political experience. Rogers, a comedian, is well known for a podcast called The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey man, this is Tommy Chong, and right now you're listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol Baskin, and you are listening to The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey y'all, this is Kevin from Candlebox. You are listening to the funny man, Anthony Rogers.
Hey, my name is Alex Sulkin, writer of Ted and Family Guy, and you're listening to The Anthony Rogers Show. Lucky you.
Bam. Welcome back to the greatest show in the entire universe. Today we have Sam Catanzaro.
What's up?
Reverend Bob Levy.
You.
Isabella James. How you doing?
Hi.
Cool. That was the longest intro ever. Like sitting there, like I was terrible to sit through, like the fucking intro. I couldn't imagine like sitting there watching that. Dude, like I met Bob on a podcast, and this guy was like the funniest fucking dude I've ever met in my entire life. And I looked him up. He's like huge. He's like this, like he was like on Stern and a bunch of like shit like that. It was crazy. Like I was on this guy named Dougie's podcast, and I was just like, the dude just kept like, I just literally sat there laughing the entire time. That's how I met him.
That was a fun time, brother. Fun time for sure.
I thought you were an actual reverend when you were introduced. Like I fell for the whole bullshit. And then I saw you. He's like, he has a reverend on, and then like you're like smoking cigarettes the whole time. And I'm like, I've never seen a reverend smoke. And then you start like saying crazy shit, and I'm like, I realized that's like your. I just realized that all at once. It was like crazy. To me,
I feel like most reverends would have to smoke. You know, like all their, you know, the preaching and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's to get the boys' cock taste out of their mouth. That's why.
Wah-wah.
Oh, this cat's coming up now. Sit down.
So we have people coming in now, right? It seems like people are saying like, "Let's go." I don't know what that means, but it's good.
Let's go. They're excited. Why not?
So where's everybody at? Like, where's everybody from and shit? Like,
I'm in California.
Where in California? That's like a big region.
Geez,
like,
getting personal. I'm in.
Well, I don't even know the actual.
I'm in San Diego because I don't like people to think I'm from LA.
Gotcha.
I'm in Jersey.
We're in St. Louis.
Nice. I was just watching your fucking game, and god damn it, I hate Colorado.
Yeah, fuck Colorado.
Is it still 2-1?
It was when I walked in.
Gotcha.
Hopefully they win this.
Yeah, they need to win this. It's 3-2 right now in the series.
They look good. They look good tonight. I think they're going to take it. I really think they're going to take it tonight. And
I think they look like a better team than they did in 2019 when they won the cup.
Yeah, and they were good then. They were good.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
The best series so far is it has to be watching Edmonton and Calgary. I mean, Edmonton won it, but those games are so fast. It's unbelievable.
They were going at one another.
So good, man.
It was crazy. Like all the bars around here had them playing, and usually like St. Louis, it's like, no, we just care about the Blues. You know what I'm saying? We'll watch Cardinals game or something like that. But everybody was glued to those games, man, because it was just going back and forth. It was crazy.
So many goals in those games. I mean, it's just incredible. Hockey's the best thing, especially in the playoffs. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Football kind of sucks, you know. Baseball is boring.
Yeah, I just hate like one thing I hate about sports is like the interviews that they do with the players. Like the interviews are so monotone. Like they ask them like, hey, so what are you gonna do with the game tonight? And they're like, oh well, we're gonna go out there and score some points and stop them from scoring points and hopefully bring home the W. It's like this is the worst hard hitting journalism ever.
Yeah, it's like we gotta play better, you know. And if we play better, I think we can get. What the fuck? Of course they're gonna say that. Just fucking leave the guy alone and let him take a piss.
Exactly.
Interrupt him when he's walking to the dressing room on skates, please.
Exactly. Or when they lose and they're just so pissed off, and the reporter's like, "So why do you think you lost?" You know, and it's like they really can't get mad, but they have to like, well, it just wasn't in the cards tonight. And it's like, I'd have been like, nah, because the refs sucked. You know, our coach is an idiot, you know, and like the guy totally missed the shot. You know, I would just be going nuts.
Yeah.
But they have publicists that keep them from saying those type of things, you know.
That is very true.
And like a lot of them probably aren't that smart. They don't have that much to say. Not to be mean, but
No. Well, that's like Marshawn Lynch when he was playing, they would go up to him and interview him, and they'd be like, so. And I think at one time he says, "I'm just here so I don't get fined." Like, he didn't even answer the question. I'm like, you know what? I respect that. That's instead of trying to give some bullshit answer. That's crazy.
we got some SoCal haters over here in the chat.
Northern Cali rules.
Cali's sick no matter what, man. Like, don't hate. We're all liberal.
Somebody tried to stab me with a fucking bottle, so I have a little fucking hate in California. Thank God he fucking was stupid. He walked up to me when I was on stage with a broken bottle in his hand, and he broke on the table, and I kicked him in the chest. Thank God he was an idiot. He totally showed what he was going to do. And I just waited for him. But fucking, I love California. There's some people losing their minds out there.
So it was like a Steven Seagal movie. You just saw him coming at you with the bottle, and you were just like, Reverend Bob's got this. Here we go.
He wasn't moving fast, and I go, either I'm going to get stabbed or I'm going to be a hero. I ended up being a hero, so it's good. And I finished the show, and that was it. I don't give a fuck. It's a 50-50 chance. I like those odds.
That's like every little boy's dream. Like when they dream about stopping a robbery or, saving the hot girl or something like that. Like, just let me know what exactly is going to happen so I can make this fairy tale moment right here.
Well, I'm not from California originally, so I'm not really that offended, nor would I be offended because, I don't represent California, but it's okay. Every place has some dumbasses. I get it.
Yeah, you're from originally.
I grew up in Arizona most of my life, but I was born in Wisconsin, so I got the Midwest roots.
I dated a girl from Scottsdale, and she was like, the thing about Scottsdale is everything's Scottsdale.
Yeah,
he's like die hard Scottsdale.
Yeah, it's like really bougie there, but it's like everybody lives in Scottsdale because they don't want to spend the money to live in California and still act like they're cool,
Yeah, she said it's like real rich. Like she was very like, I don't know, like lower middle class or whatever. And that's like homeless there practically. Like everybody's over there. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like I'm saying, it's like really like unnecessary. It's like the Beverly Hills of Arizona.
Yeah, you don't even open the phone book to look up escorts there. It's too much.
You got to go to South Phoenix for the good discount.
Arizona, man. Again, I've never been to California. I've never been to the East Coast. I've never seen a beach. Never been to a beach. Yep, I'm 30 years old. Never seen a beach.
You sound like a Make-A-Wish kid. You're like, right? I've never had one vacation. My parents, please take me on vacation. My last week.
You know what? I'm just gonna shave my head now and then redo that.
I feel like I should be buying a blanket off of you for $20 a month of that little fucking disease kid. The fucking little hobbit they put up there with the little arms.
Yeah. Just make my dreams come true. Oh man.
I just want to see the ocean.
Arizona is like fucking, I'm going back there in July, which is a stupid thing, but
yeah,
I love it. But I went barefoot. It was in Scottsdale. I went barefoot from one hotel. They didn't sell cigarettes to the next one. I almost died. I had somebody videotape me going back because it was so fucking embarrassing, and my feet were on fire. I thought I was gonna fucking die.
It's already like 110 there. It's crazy. It's like
they
100.
also got those javelinas there. Have you seen those? Those little like warthog pigs or like attack pigs, those mini pigs. Those things scare the crap out of me. I've never seen them, but I've seen videos, and they get like into a herd. They're all dumb. They're all blind. They're bumping into one another, but they can all like come after you, and they could kill you.
Are those the ones with the two big teeth hanging out?
Yeah. Yeah, but they're little. They're like miniature, like warthogs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, they just all, it's crazy. It's crazy. They're blind. They're stupid. But like if they see somebody, like if you accidentally bump one of them, they just start hitting you, and then you're like, oh, what the hell is going on here?
They're haters.
Yeah, it's crazy. I would
like a homeless person.
Exactly. It's like a it's like a group full of homeless people just attacking you.
Anthony, am I able to change my little name so it has like my @ instead of just Bella?
Yeah,
I think at the side, there's like above your like video, there's like a 3 dot thing. You like click that.
Oh, okay. It's always the 3 dots. Sweet.
Yeah,
Thank
it's my
you.
third time ever using this program.
Oh yeah, it says
I got-
edit. Yeah, it says edit name.
He's like, I'm a pro now.
Yeah, I never knew this
Seasoned
program at all. This fucking threw me off. I couldn't get my camera working. I had fucking poison ivy in my fucking eyes. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I gotta call my wife. She's like, is it working now? A lot of help. What are you gonna
So what
do?
happened?
What happened?
What were you doing to get poison ivy in your eyes?
I redid the house, so I started doing. I did landscaping years ago, so I thinking, I'm just gonna pull out all the bushes in the front. I pulled them all out, and I started fucking itching. Then all of a sudden, I look at my eyes. I look like somebody threw acid in my face, you know. So I went to the doctor. I went to urgent care today, and they gave me a steroid shot. They go, she goes, we're not gonna wait till tomorrow. We're gonna give you a shot right here. And yeah, like I can't give it to somebody here. It's not like AIDS, and so it's not that good of a, thing to have. So yeah, I can't pass it on at this point. It was only what was on my shirt and flew around, she said. But they gave me some cream to put on tomorrow. But it's like it's on my arm. It's like fucking my eyes are just fucking red. My eyelids are fucking like I look like a frog.
Dude, I don't envy you there. You were saying that you used to landscape. I used to landscape years and years ago. And my cousin, I was working for my uncle and my cousin, and we were doing this like storage shed, and there was like the fence like right between, and he was like, hey, you got to get all that stuff out of there. So I just took a weed eater and I just started weeding, and everything was getting flung up and landing on me and this and that. And like the next morning I was just covered, and it was either poison ivy, poison oak, whatever. And I was a horny 18-year-old kid. So I was like, for like 4 days, I was like, I can't touch myself. What's gonna happen? They gave me so many steroids and shit. And that was the worst, man.
I'm 59. I was trying to fucking jerk it off. I was like, it looks like I got a Braille cock now. It's like it's little lumps on it, and that shit. My balls itch a little more than ever. One time I got poison oak, and I'm doing a radio show I used to do in Atlantic City, and somebody goes, well, it looks like poison oak. You just got to piss on it in the shower. So I go in the shower, I'm pissing on it. I'm like fucking cupping it and throwing it on my back, my lower back. And I go to my doctor the next day and I go, I got poison oak. And he goes, you're a fucking idiot. You don't have poison oak. You have, what's that thing that's going around now? That fucking thing you get from the
monkeypox.
No, not monkeypox. The other shit that you see the commercials for all the time. It's like what? Shingles. Shingles. I had shingles, and he goes, "You pissed on your shingles," and it was the worst fucking thing ever. And it burnt. It is unbelievable. Like you get shingles when you get really upset. I think that was my third divorce. Yeah, third divorce when I got the papers, and I had a kid, so it was like throwing me off. And but I got shingles from it. Women will drive you crazy.
So shingles like just comes from like emotions?
Emotions a lot of times, yeah.
Wow.
So you got to be careful. You got to smoke a lot of weed. That's what I do now. I don't get upset anymore.
Yeah, because it's kind of like hardcore hives, and you can like break out in hives if you're like stressed out, right?
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it's like the weed. It's just it looks like bubbles. It looks as painful as it is, and it's horrible. But
that's how we need to get marijuana legalized throughout the country. Is just say it prevents shingles. Like everybody needs to just be smoking weed so you don't break out into hives anymore.
Aren't they working on that though? Isn't it about to become federal?
Is it about to become federal?
I don't
know. I know Illinois, just next door to Missouri, they became legal.
Yeah,
Missouri's about to.
Missouri don't have medical or anything.
Missouri, I think, has medical. Don't we have medical, Anthony?
It's medical on a state level, yeah.
Medical on a state level, yeah. But I think they're trying to get recreational legalized here. I think it's on the bill next time.
Yeah, they just did that here, but they have different, like, if you want to go into the one by my house, you got to get there at 5 o'clock, and it's open till 7. And there's a huge fucking line there. At least you know who the cool neighbors are now. That's the only thing good about it. Usually you would only meet your neighbors at like a fucking liquor store, and you go, yeah, I knew he had a drinking problem, that loser.
Yeah, if you can buy beer in a store, you should be able to buy weed. I sometimes smoke, and still every time, because I'm still used to being like a teenager where it's like, oh, get the like dime bag and like smoke out of freaking Dr. Pepper can. And I'm like, oh my God. Every time I go there, I buy like so much shit and then I like don't even want it because like I don't even smoke weed like that. And I just get like stupid high. And then I'm
Don't
like,
go
I'm
to Jamaica then. That's what happened to me in Jamaica. I bought $20 worth. It was like a pillowcase worth. And I just left it for the maid in the drawer. There's no way I could have smoked it.
Wow.
I just get like pre-rolls. So I know I'm like, all right, when
Yeah.
this is done, I'm done, you know?
I wonder how much revenue Jamaicans just make off of weed, like just alone.
Well, apparently not much. They're selling pillowcases for $20. Like,
Yeah.
that's a terrible business plan for them. You know, great for Bob, but terrible for the seller. You know, that's crazy. Like, Jamaican airports like are crazy. They like tear through your stuff. Like they'll just like TSA here's like gay as fuck. They just like they're like some fat dude with glasses and like a buzz cut. But like in Jamaica, they're like looking through your bags and shit. They're like you can't smuggle anything in, like at least in your bags, you know.
No, but the whole thing is, as soon as you get past, once you walk out, somebody's selling you weed right there.
Yeah,
As soon as you can't do, you can't take a chance because it's better to get on the resort and then buy it there. Because they swim. One guy, I was swimming in the water, and the guy comes there. They're not allowed on the sides, and they're not allowed to pass the rope. And I was by the rope, and he swam from the outside around, and he goes, "You want to buy some shells, some seashells?" And I'm like, "What the fuck am I gonna do it?" He goes, "I got coke in it." I swam back like on fucking Gilligan's Island, like 100 miles an hour to fucking get it. I was fucking. That was my second honeymoon. I was an hour later. I'm in a jacuzzi with fucking 4 girls, and my wife walks by. It was just like, you know what I mean? Drugs are bad, people. They might be bad.
Hey, yeah, let's bring that up. I just went to freaking EDC and I don't do all that shit anymore. I just took caffeine, but I like hung out with this dude and I'm like, you know, maybe it's love or maybe it's MDMA. And like it was so interesting just being around people just like so messed up. And like I'm like, but I'm having the same experience. Like maybe not these weird hallucinations or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was like literally like that. I just think about all these like crazy times when I used to like get really messed up. And I'm like, all of that wouldn't have happened if we were sober. You know, we probably just sort of like went to sleep and like it would have been a good night. But then
you want to have good stories to tell. That's the thing.
Exactly. I mean, I still have, you know, interesting stories too, but it's, you know, it was with people on drugs. It probably would have went, you know, more wholesomely if we were all sober at like a Bible study.
I probably wouldn't have any stories if it didn't start with, you remember when we were drunk or when we were high that time? I would not have a good story. They all start that way. So without that, there's really nothing much you're gonna, you know, it's like, what are you gonna talk about? Remember we were sober and we fucking fell asleep at 11 o'clock at night for no reason. Nothing happened.
That's me when I'm high though.
I'd be rich as fuck if I didn't get wasted. Like I feel like in my 20s I spent all my money getting wasted pretty much. Like I'm just like an idiot. Like, I'd be rich as fuck by now probably. I'd have like a Lambo and shit if I fucking didn't smoke weed. Like alone, just weed. I would. I probably smoked a couple Lambos worth of weed by now.
That's how I feel when I look back on it. I'm like, man, I just like thousands and thousands of dollars just on like, you know, 1 year of drinking or something like that. It's like shit. It's and then you start thinking all the purchases that you could have made.
But you can't think of it like that, you know. It's like I go, oh, I smoke 2, you know, if I buy 2 packs of cigarettes a day, how much does that come out a month? You know what? Fuck it. I'd kill people if I didn't smoke now. Okay, so you do shit for a reason, you know. It's like it's like paying a bill in your house, the electric bill. You have to do it. And so I have to get the cigarettes. I don't care.
That's how my dad is. He just quit smoking a few years ago because he got diagnosed with COPD. Man, I was like, and he was like, man, I want a fucking cigarette, like this and that. And he still has some occasionally and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, well, yeah, but you're saving money, you know? Like, aren't you happy? He goes, no, I'm fucking miserable. Like, yes, okay, so I'm putting shit away in my bank account. I'm 63 years old. Give me a fucking cigarette. Like, I can't take that money with me, you know? But
I've always felt that way. It's never been like, oh, you're saving money. I'm like, that's whatever. I'm like, I'm saving my health. Like, that's what I look at more if I'm like not doing something. But money is just energy, you know, and you're gonna spend it on something else anyway. So might as well at least enjoy the process.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're all gonna spend it on our vices. Yeah, my father, he was like, I told him, I said, Dad, you know, like years ago, I was like, Dad, you should stop smoking, you know, because you're gonna, lung cancer, this and that, blah, blah. And he takes a drag and he goes, Sammy, let me tell you something. He goes, the men in our family, we don't get cancer or anything like that. We don't, it's not a cinematic, dying around a bed, with all your family. He goes, we just drop dead. And he's like, I'm going to drop dead one day. Your grandfather dropped dead. His dad dropped dead. One day you'll drop dead. So, if I want to have a cigarette, I'm going to have a fucking cigarette. I was like, thanks for the pep talk, Pops.
Yeah, it's like it's almost a Christmas card. I love that guy. Holy shit. That's amazing.
Someone's asking someone's asking in the comments, Bob, did you play Woodstock? Someone's asking.
Yeah, Woodstock 94. It was
wow.
It was horrendous because nobody wanted to hear us. We were like on a stage somewhere, and I remember Don Jameson was on stage, and somebody threw a 32-liter bottle of piss at him.
Oh my damn!
So much pee stories so far.
Well, yeah, we got plenty more.
That was community. Like that wasn't one guy's piss. 32 ounce, like that had to be community piss.
He might have carried it with him. People were fucked up on mushrooms and that shit. He could have carried it with him the whole fucking weekend. That could have been from the night before.
So you got to do a set like this crazy. It was a crowd like just roaring and nuts and shit. And you're like trying to do like a set. You're like, anyway, like is that what it was like? Or?
We were kind of on a small stage on the side. It wasn't bad at all, and it was just like nobody gave a fuck, and we didn't give a fuck.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like we just we get to go there for nothing, and fucking they fed us and shit, and we slept in a tent with a bunch of hippies, and Jim Norton stared at. There was a Jamaican guy, and his dick was hanging out. Like he had long shorts on, and the helmet was down to the bottom. And Norton just kept pointing at it the whole fucking time. I'm like, we got to go to sleep. And he's like, but look at, and they had a shower that you can go in with the men and women. And one guy went in like 7 times in one night to take a shower. Right? I finally went in there. I was all coked out when I used to do it. And my dick was so small. He goes, Florentine goes, how was it? I go, I got booed out of the shower. That's how small it was. I was fucking, I was like, what am I doing in there after doing a fucking almost an 8 ball? I'm fucking packing like 2 inches.
That was always the worst about coke. You have like the confidence to get laid, but then your dick doesn't cooperate. You're just like, what the fuck? It's like I just talked myself into all this shit, and like I can't do anything.
Just
like,
I just lied for fucking 2 hours to her, really good, and now I can't fucking do anything.
I know. I'm like, I'm fucking Asian or something. Yeah, there's no way out of that,
Fucking Asian.
It's cold.
I
don't know.
I mean, they got a big population over
Pacific
there.
Islander month. Like, be less racist. It's like I'm Asian. There's no way out of that. Yeah, there's no way out of that. I remember that being in my 20s, like getting too fucked. That would suck.
Yeah, you have to work it out before, you know what I mean? You have to get it going somewhere and then walk in the room with it, because otherwise it wouldn't go. It was like, you have to go in and have a talk with it, grab it by the fucking neck and say, don't fucking embarrass me this fucking time.
I just usually wear very thin shorts and just stand in front of a box fan for a little bit. And that's kind of what does it for me. I get it going again.
There's like a hell of comments on Facebook. I feel like I'm supposed to like address. Like, it's just like people like asking questions and shit. I'm just like talking to fucking people. I'm like,
Daniel just asked, Bob, what's your wildest night been?
Oh fuck, there's been a lot. So I don't. Wildest night.
I feel like you won't remember your wildest night.
Yeah,
I remember like the second most wildest.
It's very hard to. There was so many good stories. I remember one time, I mean, this wasn't wild, it's just fucking the way it was. I was on stage in Baltimore. I get up stage, start making out with this hot chick, and she goes, and then she left, right? And she goes, I'm going to be at this hotel, and Florentine gives me a ride. There were no cell phones back then, right? It was probably in the 90s somewhere, I don't know. And I get there, a knock on the door, some guy answers the door, and he's like, who are you? And I'm like, who the fuck are you? Now I'm stuck there. She's laying in the bed. I'm sitting at the table for probably an hour. And I was like, fuck this. And I just got in the bed and went to sleep. They woke up in the morning. She goes, who is this? And then the girl's like, I don't know who it was. I'm like, you don't fucking remember? It's like they're fucking nuts. Everybody's nuts except for me. I just went there to get pussy. I was told to go there. Unbelievable.
You were a victim.
I was a victim. I could have been raped by both of them. But no, where was I going to go? I didn't have a car. I was dropped off. You know what I mean? I didn't know where the fuck. We get to all. I don't know where the fuck we were. You know, we were staying somewhere in a hotel, but fuck, he drove.
Shit. Bella, what's yours?
Oh my god. Like the archive. I just over this weekend, or last weekend, fuck, it was like a week ago. Definitely not my wildest times, but just remembering how many times of like being around people that got like too fucked up, that couldn't hang. Like I've literally like fallen asleep at like huge raves before because I was just like so like on Molly that I was just like, I just want to go to bed. Like I don't even want to like be here. I mean, I got like arrested when I was like younger for underage drinking. I guess this probably was when I like was blacked out before I got to the club. I don't remember going to the club at all. And then I like fell asleep in the club, so they kicked me out. And then apparently I was like getting picked up, but I was like causing a scene. So the like bicycle police guy drove by and picked me up. Yeah, I was like, you have nothing else to do right now, bro. And yeah, I woke up the next morning and I had to, you know, go home and they put me like in a bunny suit because I was wearing like no clothes. And I had to like tell my parents like what happened and they like drove me to work and then I was like still drunk. And then I went and did acid that night.
There you go. But was Bill Cosby the bike cop?
Anthony, what's yours? What's your like most wild night?
I don't even know, man. I'm old and I'm like boring now, dude. Like I'm like 35, man.
I feel like archives. Like
I feel like as a kid, I was like wild. Like I guess like in my 20s, I'll tell you some dumbass story I just remember. I don't know if it was like the wildest, but like I was like at some like party and I just like made fun of everybody and like just like I used to just like I go to parties like try to fuck with everybody and just like drink all their beers, keep going to the fridge, see how many beers I could drink before they do anything, and then just roast people and like they're trapped in the room with me. And then like we got kicked out of this party for doing that basically. And then like I was trying to be cool or something. Or some girl was there named I remember her name was like Whitney or something. I was like trying to be like cool or something like that. I like walked over a car and then like fell flat on my fucking face and like had blood like everywhere on my face and shit. And it just looked like a fucking retard. And like just literally like looked so fucking stupid when I thought like it's like when you're young, you like think girls like the same. Like you're like, check out this really cool move. Like I was just so fucking stupid in my 20s, just trying to get laid. I'm like, this girl would probably think it would be hilarious if I make fun of an entire room, you know, and then walk across a car. Like that's how I thought what being cool was, I guess. Like when I'm like too drunk and like fucking 19 or something.
That's hilarious. And that was before you had the big red beard. Was that before you had the big red beard?
Yeah, like a child.
You could actually see the blood. Like, because now I think
it was so stupid. It was like I have no idea how that girl talked to me after that. It was like so stupid. Like it was just like I look back, I'm like just like I think about that like when I smoke too much weed. Sometimes I'm like that's an embarrassment to my family name.
You know? That's what weed does to you. You think of the worst things that you did because it makes you think. Like I wanted, like my wife said something really stupid, and I was really stoned, and I could have just tore apart and just went off, but I was too stoned to get into a fight with her. You know what I mean? Because I would have went into a fight, so I let it go. And I was so mad because I had the opportunity to fucking attack there. But it makes you fucking think.
Yeah. My wife will straight roast me when I'm stoned. Like I have to be sober to compete with that lady. Like she's like got like a master's degree and shit. Like I'm an idiot and she's like smart, and then I'm stoned on top of it. I have to like fucking be smart. I have to be smart to talk to my wife, or I'll fuck it up every time. Really.
Yeah, just let me tell you, y'all can do some like dumb shit, and we'll still be there. We'll still be there hollering like, "What's
why is that? Like, why is that?"
This guy over the weekend that I met, like, literally was like telling me he wanted to like marry me and shit, like just hella love bombing me the first night, and then like, so we hung out like 2 nights, and I actually hooked up with him. And like not even 12 hours later, he like ditched me at the event and was like with another girl because I like didn't feel good. And then the next day he's like, you know, I'm sorry, you just were tired, you know. And I was like, honestly, I'll probably, if he wants to hang out, I'll probably still hang out with him, even though he's literally like a sociopath. His friend said he does this kind of shit all the time.
Well, that's what it is. He's a professional. He's a professional
yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
he
absolutely
what
is.
he's doing.
No, yeah, no, everything you could possibly say to a girl to like get them to be like into you, he did. Like absolutely. Like, and that's like his thing. But there was still part of me, I was like, oh well, we had a good time. Like, besides that, like the rest of the weekend was so great, you know? Like
And you're
I
still
told
talking
him,
about him, so he sold himself well. Like, I mean, that guy, like, I agree with Bob. He's a professional. Like, a guy, like, that's what it's about. I feel like that's how I feel like I'd be like a fucking sociopath if I wouldn't if I didn't fall in love. You know, I felt for the chick and stuff. But like a single man, you're supposed to be almost like everyone just calls you a pussy until you get laid a bunch. Like, I mean, there's like, well, this pussy hasn't got laid in fucking 2 months. Like what? And then like all your friends just fucking make fun of you and shit. So if you're not like, you know what I mean? It's like that's just how life is. It's a struggle in the suburbs. You know?
oh, you gotta be real. That's the thing. I
No,
understand.
for sure.
I'm very different. I can't say I'm very different because I fell for all that shit too. But I was like aware, but I just got like lost in the sauce, you know. I just liked the whole fantasy and all the bullshit. I wasn't trying to like find my future husband there or anything, you know. But it's
Well,
still,
fair,
yeah,
yeah.
no, I'm like I got YouTube content about it. Like I got
That's
some like
dope.
decent,
There you
you
go.
know, because I had this like Tales from the Fuckboy Crypt, like whole segment that I'm doing.
What is that? I saw you post about that. What is that?
So it's just talking about guys I've had in my life that, you know, aren't necessarily abusive, but like are just like some fuckboy shit going on, you know? Like, even though, like, so you guys don't know, but Anthony knows because we interviewed a lot. Like, I'm like very like spiritual and like into self-development and everything. But I come to realize that I don't look that way. And so when guys see me, they're probably like, wow, like she's dumb and has huge tits. So like that's gonna be really easy to get laid, you know?
See, I didn't think that.
Thank you.
You see,
No,
professional. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Wow, do they really think like that,
You
guys?
never
Think
think
like that?
that.
That is
You're
wild.
You're so smart and so kind. I never would have thought that.
Yeah.
You need to write a book.
No, I see Bella. I see you, a girl like you. I'm like, you are. You probably know your bait, so you're just like so good at like fucking with people. I feel like, you mean, like people are just probably just drawn to you. So just like you're like used to that shit. You probably have like 20, but like I feel like it's a trap every time. You know.
Like, how do you go
As a
anywhere?
dude, I feel like it's a trap. You know, I'm like that's a trap.
Yeah,
How do you
I didn't go
anywhere?
out much. So
Yeah, but like, how can you even go shopping and not be bothered? Truthfully,
Right.
I
How?
was thinking that today. I was like, I gotta start wearing more clothes. Like because I wear this out. It's like I live in the suburbs, so it's all just like families and shit, you know. I usually wear like more conservative stuff, but I didn't want to change. But no, it is like, and I just don't pay attention to it. But when I go with friends, they'll literally tell me like every single person that's like looking at me, and I'm like, I was like, cool. You want to know my Instagram? I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm like very low key in real life. Like, but if I'm like in my city, but if I'm like not, then I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like Vegas loves bitches like us, you know? So I was like, let's go.
That's what Vegas is. That's what Vegas is for. You know what I
I just
mean? To
took 'em
go out
down.
and show it. You know.
Yeah.
Vegas is
That's good.
crazy.
But I realized like I'm like completely different than like what I put out externally, even though like I look externally because that's how I feel on the inside, but like that's, you know, other people's perception of that because it's like spiritual bimbo, but when like they don't know how I am until they start talking to me, you know. So I think I've really come to the realization I'm like I'm probably attracting like the wrong people. I need to go to like yoga or something.
Depends on what you're looking for. I mean, if you're looking for easy money, dudes are fucking stupid and like fucking. I mean, you know what I mean? Like dudes never have. I feel like they seek out girls like you, like OnlyFans and stuff like that, because they don't have like they don't have that in their life or any game or any fucking anything. So like lonely. Like a lot of people are just lonely. It seems like I guess or something. I can't really. I don't know. That's like my perception of.
There's a
seeing
lot
it.
of people that are just afraid.
Easy
They're just
money though.
afraid.
I don't need money. That's the thing too. And guys are really
I'll take your money
intimidated.
then. If you don't want it, I'll take it. Like,
I'm just saying
I'll get rid of it for you in a more fun way. Like, you know.
I don't need like I'm saying I don't need to be with someone for their money. And like guys find that like very threatening as well, you know? And I'm like, I don't care who brings the bread to the it's not like I'm dating like people that make no money, you know what I mean? But even if they make a lot of money, it's like weird that I make
Like,
more money.
Like, I don't have to date a rich dude, but I fucking do.
Yeah, of course.
My wife makes
You
good
gotta keep
money.
up, man. I like to fly business class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's the truth because my wife makes good money. Like it doesn't affect me, but I don't get upset by it. But I do drive her to work and take her home. I do in the day.
That's dope.
You're
though.
never
I
you're
mean,
never like, why don't you just order a freaking Uber once in a while, huh?
No, she got a job, and it ended up being we got a job. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I don't want to go to Philadelphia, and it's like 12 miles away. But there's traffic and that. But you know what I mean? We were talking, and I get up and I go to take a nap if I want. Whatever I want, I do whatever I want. I get poison ivy. I can do whatever I want.
You're a free man.
That's what life's about. Life is about living, man. And a lot of people don't live. And when you don't live, you die. You die fucking mentally, physically, everything falls apart, man.
That's why, like, retired people, once they retire and they just stop, and then they die usually like the year after, because it's like they were going, and they might have been miserable at their job or whatever, but they were still flowing, and like all of a sudden, like sitting water. Like flowing water never spoils, but if you leave water in a freaking jug and just have it sit there forever, eventually it's going to go bad. That's what fucking happens, man.
Yeah.
You got to keep living.
Your body's going through water. That makes sense.
Yeah.
As fun as it is to have like no structure and like do whatever, it's like, to me, it's so much more satisfying having like, this is what I'm doing today. Like do.
So that's what I do, one day at a time now. I don't think about the end of the week, what I got to do. It's like, what am I going to do tomorrow? I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to stress myself out going, I got to do this, I got to go there. I don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter. When it comes up, I'll worry about it.
Yeah. I used to work for a Lazy Boy. I used to manage a whole Lazy Boy. And I was like, I thought like, oh, I'm climbing the corporate ladder. I'm making good money, this and that. I'm making a name for myself. And then I had a realization, like, these people don't give a fuck about me. I'm expendable. Like, what am I really doing? I'm putting all this energy to something that, is not gonna be about me, later on and stuff like that. And I
got a question for you. How fucking hard of a worker do you have to be if you're working for Lazy Boy? I mean, don't they expect you to fucking just be sitting around
So my first interview there, they said, before they even hired me, one of the first things they said is, we don't sit down on the furniture, like, unless we have a customer that we're trying to sell it to. Like, if we have downtime, they were like, don't sit down because you'll fall asleep. And I had to, I hired this dude, and then I fired him not too long after that, he got fired. I didn't have to fire him, but he got fired himself because he fell asleep twice. And I had this little lady in a wheelchair, and I'm wheeling her through. So I'm helping her up, sit down in the chair, and she didn't like any chairs. So we're constantly putting her back to the wheelchair, going around the store. And she goes, there's some snoring happening. And this freaking dude that I hired, he's snoring, and he's back, and he's not even just sitting down. He's got it propped up. He's got the heat on, the massage on. And like, I can hear the massage, the heat, the snoring. And I'm like, dude. And so I kicked him. And like to get up, and then I took the lady out of the store, and he was like, "Oh yeah, sorry man, I had a long night last night." I'm like, "Bro, you can't be falling asleep here. Like you just can't, because it's a good way to get fired." Like I was trying to save him, and then my boss came up to me, and she was like, "We caught Vince sleeping again." And he was on the air mattress, and he blew up the air mattress. We had it deflated because we were gonna move it. He blew it up just to lay on it, and so I was like, "Yo, like," I was like, I can't defend him now. Like, I can't like do whatever you got to do. Like,
he meditated sleeping.
Yeah.
He should have been the regional manager. I mean, the fucking guy. Look at how lazy he is. That is the fucking cover boy for Lazy Boy.
That's a sales tactic right there, man.
I mean, I would leave him in the store and go, he works here. He's sleeping. He's been here.
You know what? If he wasn't ugly, I probably would have sold it that way. But he was it was, oh man, it makes you believe in the devil. You look at this kid, like how he looked, but no, it was one of those things. Yeah, I just hate it. I hate corporate.
I like how there's like we have 300 viewers listening to Sam talk about working a Lazy Boy. It's like, so if your live streaming podcast isn't working out, like just watch
ours. To fucking sponsor this show after that, because you're gonna get a whole bunch of people going in there now trying to see if anybody's asleep. Seriously. Man,
that is a good thing. I mean, look, fucking anything comfortable like that, anybody wants it. You know what I mean? I don't care how old you are. I want one of those fucking chairs that you kick up my fucking legs. I want to be able not to get out of it. That's my goal in life.
The worst was the fat people that came in and they would say, "This doesn't fit me," and they would complain like it's our fault. But then I'm looking at them, I'm like, "Do you understand the irony here? Like you're 300 something pounds.
When they said it,
This
the
doesn't
place,
fit you. This is our
when they
biggest
said
chair."
it didn't fit them, were they talking about the building or the chair?
The doorway coming on in, yeah.
I just want to blame it on everyone but themselves.
do.
Literally the chair. Like, how dare you make a chair too small for me?
Oh, I had this
That's
guy
what
come
it
in.
is. When they get on the plane next to you, it's like you look them coming, they're like, we expected you, and they sit in the middle, and it's like, man, the guy goes, these seats are really, yeah, the seats are small. Okay, whatever, you know.
Oh.
It's really bad when they have the imprint of the arm of the chair, like on their love handle. You know what I'm saying? From the 2-hour plane ride. Oh my damn!
It seems like it's harder to be fat than it is to not be fat. Like it seems like it would take like more work to get fat. You know, it's like you have to like
I
buy
was
more
just
food.
thinking that.
It's like I don't know. You have to do more things. I don't know.
Watch
It seems
that.
like-
Watch that show, 600-pound life or something like that. You'll throw up. But it's like a lot of it's like people perpetuate it because eventually you're going to get so big that you can't get in a car and go and get fast food. Somebody has to bring it to you. You know, and it's like now we got DoorDash and all that crap, and it's like
That's the main thing now. And then you can actually use that chair to go down and get your fucking food and then go back up your fucking, you know, it's fucking ridiculous what it is now. But the fat people will always complain, you know. It's look, they used to be jolly. They're not anymore. They're fucking angry. They demand shit, you know.
Were they ever jolly, or was that just Santa? I think like we just attributed that to Santa, and then we just grouped all fat people in with the jolly category. No, maybe Buddha.
If they're eating, they're happy. If they're eating, they're like, if you know, the best mood they're in is at a restaurant when you're having lunch with them. You know, they're just so fucking happy. You know, it's like the greatest fucking thing in the world. They're like, what do you get? What do you mean? What I should stop it? They're just so it's all about food.
So I have a friend who is like a BBW, big beautiful woman. You know, I mean, she's like 300 pounds or something like that. But she literally, and she's been fit before, you know, and she literally is like fucked up in the head because these guys are like over here like paying her to look this way and being like, you better not be working out. So she's getting all this validation. She makes more money than I do. And so it's like hard for her. But I was like, listen, like you're amazing at what you do. No matter what you look like, you're gonna have those fans, you know, like. But I could see, I mean, I can't because I've never had that problem. But I'm like, who cares what these like random, obviously they're the ones that are fucked up. They're like, I need to keep this girl. Like she has like diabetes and stuff and she's like young.
Shit.
And she has like cancer and all this stuff.
Holy
It's like,
shit, who's jerking off to that? Like what the fuck?
I want guys, yeah.
Well, you need a fat bitch with cancer. No offense to your friend, but Jesus Christ. Like it's like that's like the worst genre of porn of my entire
Are they like
life.
jerking off to like the EKG, like the X-rays and shit like that of her tumors? Like what the fuck is
Probably.
going on?
I just want to say
God.
that's fucked up. And what's her handle?
She already got good SEO. It's all good.
Oh,
And she's
God, there's
so
nothing like-
sweet. You know,
God
she's
bless
like
her for
jerking off to a woman with one leg. I fucking love it.
oh,
Only
that's,
they get
no
only
matter
worse
what
anymore.
you, no matter
She
what you
doesn't
do.
have diabetes. She ate her leg.
She was hungry.
What
Dude,
always kind of creeps me out though is that like the like feeding fetish, you know, like the guys like want to feed the girls so like they get fatter. Like that like makes me want to throw up.
See
That's
that
too much
makes me
money.
yeah, no, but it's not. It's wrong. It's like nobody wants that. I don't care. You're a sick person if you want that. You
That's why
can't
they're
want
into
that.
it.
Yeah, they're not
That's
into
so
it.
taboo.
They have to be into it because that's all they can get. You can't look at that and go, that's what I want. I want to feed that and make it bigger.
They do though. They really do.
It's a sickness. That's a mental fucking.
That's how you get your phone bill paid for. Those are the guys. Those are the girls that pay for phone bills.
How come there isn't strip clubs called fucking heifers? How come?
That's true.
You
Great
know what I
point.
mean?
The man's
It's
not there.
Yeah, it's not like if I open a comedy club, right? I would have only the hottest waitresses. You know what I mean? But they have to do their job too. But because that keeps people there. That it's an opportunity of thinking you can get something that you can't, and that's what makes more money.
Well, and I think that's what it is, that it's so taboo to like a girl that's fat or whatever, you know. I think because that's like it's like one of the biggest like searches because it's like not would you know, it's kind of like hush hush or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it's like that. Like I think the girls that are more, because everyone has different looks. Not everyone's into like how I look and everything. But I think the girls that are more like the girl next door look, it's like A, because they don't look like they do porn. But B, also it's like more attainable. It's like, oh, that's somebody that I actually have a chance with. So let me jerk off to them.
So you're saying that that's most search like BBW. Maybe it's just dumb people looking to buy a BMW.
From Pornhub.
Yeah, it's weird. Like BBW and interracial porn are like the same genre on Pornhub. It seems like.
Yeah.
They like the big girls.
Yeah, it seems like it's the same genre. It's like, why are there two genres?
Right. Just rope them in together. Save space.
Now, have you noticed that more white guys are on these? Like more white guys are creepier. Like black guys, I can't see like black guys being on there. You know what I mean? Truthfully, like
On OnlyFans? No, there are.
Not many, but I'm saying it's mostly white
It's
people.
mostly my demographic is probably like, nerdy, probably like 25 to 35, like play video games, like maybe live in their mom's basement, like something like that. I love them though, very grateful. But yeah, no, definitely I feel like
They wouldn't live in their basement if girls like you didn't exist, right? They'd have their own house, they'd have their own car. Like these women who keeping men in their basement.
Mom, give me another 5 years. I'm breaking her down. She's gonna marry me.
I just gave her $25. I'm in.
Yeah.
So serious though. I have like we call them like whales, but I have this guy and he is so sweet. Like I've motivated him to like lose weight and he's doing good at work, but like the stuff that he writes is so cringy where it's like, dude, like I don't even know you. And he's like I'm in love with you, but like just like huge ass paragraphs of like all this, and I'm like, you don't even like this is a show.
You don't want him to lose weight because once he can fit out of the house, he's gonna stalk you.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna be able to get on a bus and come and find you. Oh, dude.
Ma, I need bus money.
No. Oh my god.
Her whole clientele is Will Ferrell and Wedding Crashers. Like, Ma, meatloaf. Ma, watching Bella. Ma.
But you know what the thing is? I think because like, I understand what I do isn't like the most like high vibe thing, but it's like some of these people like that literally like them seeing my content and, rather be OnlyFans or wherever else, like I'm literally, that's like the light of their day. And so I'm like, hey, if they're in that dark place, like I'm just like grateful to be like bringing, that light to them at least.
No, that's what it is. It's a job for everybody. There's everything for everybody, and you are bringing a life to them because they, you know what I mean? They would you're the only person they could probably talk to almost.
Yeah, that's true.
$25 per message.
Yeah.
Money, of course, but still.
I think she likes me.
They would pay a therapist. They would pay a therapist probably the same amount. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, fair.
That looks like her.
True. Yeah, at least you come,
Where's that commercial at? Where's the commercial like titties saved my life? Like I'd be fucking dead if it wasn't for titties.
Yes. Praise.
You have to go to school to be a therapist. Like maybe it's like 6 months a year. Then you fucking get an office. You would be a millionaire within a year or two.
All those kids would graduate high school. Like if you
and please teach math or physics. Like please, our country fucking needs it. Like go like teach economics and math, please. Like
oh man.
It would save the world.
This country's IQ goes up like 2 or 3 points altogether. Like
that's what they need. Who are they going to listen to? They're going to listen to her.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what people are going to listen to. You know what I mean? Because she look at it. She is sparkling. Whatever. You know what I mean? With like the attitude and everything like that. People are going to listen. And that's when you go to somebody that like, what the fuck is that? They're going to listen to them. You know what I mean?
I will say this, all the hot teachers that I've ever had, I've been glued.
Yeah.
Like I have absolutely been glued. The funniest thing was we all had this hot teacher sophomore year, right? And there was rumor that she was having sex with some of the students and this and that, blah, blah. Wow. So she had this advanced science class that was offered like junior and senior year, right? And you could take the advanced science class, but it had to be an elective. So we all signed up for it, but she got fired. So they put in this pig and she was there. So we all get there the first day and we're looking around like, where's Miss H? And this girl comes in like, well, she was just let go, but I'm your new teacher. And like all the guys, there was probably like 28 guys in that class, 2 girls. And we all looked at one another like, fuck. Like, we all know why we're here. No one wants to take earth science their senior year.
That was funny when everyone asked, where's the teacher? She burped and goes, I don't know.
Hot teachers, man.
It's how the world is. The world, listen to me, this is the way it is. Like I do a lot of jokes in that, but I noticed that a lot of good people may be ugly motherfuckers and they may be fat. I never really gave them that much time as somebody else that was, you know what I mean? And that's just the way everybody thinks, whether they there or they don't. And now I take a little time and I listen and I'm like, okay, this is a cool person, you know?
Yeah.
It's not just judging by look. And that's, I think more people should do that, truthfully.
I think that's why I think like it's 50-50 with looks and personality, like especially if you're going to hit on somebody or if you allow somebody to hit on you, because it's like a part of you has to be physically attracted to them.
Yeah, exactly.
To some degree. Like you can't just have the most ugly motherfucker come on up to you and you're like, well, maybe he's got a good personality, or maybe she's got a good personality. Like, so a part of you has to be attractive. You have to think they're cute or something. And then the personality can bleed through and even it out. But all these people that say, no, just talk to anybody. It's like, no, you have to be physically attracted to them, especially if you want a long-term relationship, like you're not going to be waking up next to, the Grim Reaper every fucking morning.
But what's a long-term relationship? I've been married
like 3 months, like 3
months. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
So, I mean, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And like I said, like, I know there's people that don't find me attractive, so it's like, but
yeah, they're called blind people that are retarded. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Please.
Hey, I'm blind and retarded. I'm offended by that.
Why he wears the glasses, guys.
But you know what's good about her? But let me just get this out of the way. What's good about you is you have a personality. Like if this was just radio, I would go, this would be good. You know what I mean? Because of the personality without seeing. But when you see it, it's like, this is good.
That's why I'm doing YouTube and not podcasts.
That's what I get it. You know what I mean?
I wasted on something that just hears your voice.
I know what's going on.
Man.
I like your voice, by the way. I was going to say that earlier. Maybe it's just your good audio equipment.
Who's that?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know.
This guy, the one above you.
No, she's like this guy that I never caught his name.
No, I didn't. And your little at's gone now too. I'm so sorry.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I'm Sam. My name's Sam.
Now he's more into his voice now. He's like, damn it, I can't believe it. Really? Oh, damn it. Oh.
Okay, but so it's like when you first meet somebody though, it's like, I'm sorry, like someone can grow on you. I've had that happen. I had a 2-year fucking relationship from that, but it ended up not working out. And it's like, I look back to when I first met him, I'm like, I didn't even think he was that cute. And I thought he was like kind of annoying. So it's like, but then he kind of, persuaded me into liking him. And 2 fucking years later, so it's like.
See, keyword there. You said that cute. You didn't think he was that cute. So a part of you still thought that he was cute though. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the whole thing. There needs to be something there. There needs to be some kind of attraction.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. There could be somebody that is, people wouldn't normally think is attractive and maybe they make you laugh or like something, but there has to be, but no, I feel that way. Like you have to like them. You have to think they're cute or like, that's weird. And there's not going to have.
Laughing makes people, women like when guys make them laugh. 2 Jews walking a bar. No, I'm kidding. Try anything. No, but yeah, you're totally right about it. But the whole thing is that you see that little thing that works. You know what I mean? And that's the only reason that you're there. That is the only reason that you're still going, there's something, but I don't know what it is right away. And then you figure it out later on.
It can build from there. And then next thing you know. That's why I'm going to pick up a homeless woman after this. Like I'm going to see something, see something in there, like bring her home, shower. All right, give her something to eat. And then maybe we can start building a relationship from there and get lucky. Absolutely.
Let's start it off
one of those 80s movies.
Just vlog it. Business expense.
Yeah, I'm gonna show her my Instagram. Anthony was like bragging. He was like, Bella's got so many followers, or, Bob's got so many followers, and it's
True.
like
You have like way more. You have more than all of us combined. I saw that earlier. Yeah.
I got only like 250 followers on my Instagram because I just started getting on there a couple months ago. Like just 250.
I know. I was like,
so I'm with all these people here, and they just got like.
I don't have many. I don't know. I used at the beginning. I used to just post my dogs. I didn't know what the fuck it was, how it worked, and anything. I still don't know.
But Bob, somebody can Google you, and you'll pop up. You know what I'm saying? They Google me. They're gonna have to go through like 100 pages before you even get a picture of me. All right, and it's gonna be a picture from the post office or some shit like that.
Dude, yeah, I didn't know who Bob was when I met him at first, and he was just fucking like funny as fuck. And I googled him. That's how I found out about him. Because like I was on a podcast, I'm like legit laughing, and like most people on podcasts suck, dude. Like you'll just like hear this shit, and it's like oh okay, this guy's just like trying to pitch his comedy shows or something. Well, he was like fucking making me laugh, fellas. I looked him up. The dude's a fucking legend. Everyone I know that like heard of Stern like just thought I was an idiot. When I was like telling him about it, I was like my mom's a huge Stern fan. Like a bunch of my friends are there. They thought I was just a fucking idiot for not like recognizing him right away. I fell for the whole Reverend. He was like Dougie was like, this is Reverend Bob Levy. And I'm like, oh, Reverend, okay. And he's like smoking cigarettes. And I'm just like, it already looked fucking crazy to me. It was just like, I remember seeing that. And then I read about that. It's like your whole like thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm a fucking moron. Like,
the whole thing, it's fun doing them. It's always work. It's like you learn your timing. There's different shows. You know what I mean? You get to learn the timings of the shows and that. And it makes you better. You know what I mean? You don't go there and you don't lay down. You don't lay down on stage, and you don't lay down when you do anybody's podcast. You can't.
It's great. I love like the long form conversation and just bullshitting.
Yeah,
like that. That's what I love. And there's a lot of people out there. They're like, well, let's start a podcast. I talk to all my friends, but then they get there and something about the microphone and like the headphones or all that kind of stuff, and then they just get into this whole thing like, it's like doing comedy. Like there's some guys that I know that are funny as hell, but they get up on stage in front of a whole bunch of people and they're like, and then they get tongue tied. Then it's like, because what you're doing, the task is still the same, but the setting's just way different. But the task is still the same. Just do what you always do. It's just now you're here,
And don't have your friends come. Never, your friends will come at the beginning all the time, but they'll always laugh. But you'll never be able to judge yourself. Like I see people go, you did really good. Your friends were here. You know what I mean? Your stuff can be worked on. You can get better. You can't. I said, don't have your friends come anymore.
I made the mistake. The first time.
When you eat a dick, when you eat the biggest dick on stage, that's when you learn. That's when you learn that you have to be funny real soon or get the fuck out of the business.
Yeah. You have to have like outs. You have to have outs. Like if something bombs, you have to like have like an out to carry it away. Yeah, no, I noticed that shit. And like bombing makes you fucking smart because you'll think about it for the next 13 hours. Like, how did I fuck that up? And you'll just like, no, bombing's the best learning probably.
One of the first showcases that I did, Anthony was there. And I made the mistake of inviting like a whole bunch of my family and really, really close friends because I was so excited. Like, I'm going to be here. Like, my picture's on a poster that anybody can make on, like online. And I bring a whole bunch of my family and friends there. And I made the mistake. Like I was drinking. And usually like that'd be fine, but I was so new to stand up. I started like tripping over all my punchlines. I was forgetting my bits and this and that. It was like almost like crickets. Like I was getting some laughs. And afterwards, my cousin, she comes up to me. She's like a big sister. And she comes up and she goes, well, as long as you're happy doing this, then we're happy. And I'm like, that's the biggest kick in the fucking balls. And I went back and I was like, okay, I gotta do something different or else, not do it anymore. But yeah, that was
you have to, because it's the most hurtful feeling. It's like you never learn anything. You learn to shut the fuck up. You always right, and you're better. You're a better person.
Have you ever gotten up on stage like for anything like stand up or anything like that?
What do you mean?
Like has she gotten up? Like, have you had to get up like, in front of a crowd, like public speaking and stuff like that?
Yeah, but like lower, like smaller groups, I've done like some like retreats and stuff like that.
Were they religious retreats?
No, I did last year I talked at a little retreat to a bunch of girls about how to, make more money doing OnlyFans. So,
I would buy tickets to that. I would fly out for that. You know what I mean? That's something you sell tickets to guy. I'm telling you, it's a fortune maker. This is like, you know what I mean? This is a whole thing with all the girls. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it is.
Bob's
It's
taking
very
notes.
lucrative.
He's sitting in the front row.
Start a management company.
Oh
I
man.
love it.
There's so
It's
many
just,
girls, you know what I
but
mean?
that's what it is, and there's so many guys out there. You know what I mean? They to meet them, they would pay anything, you know. And it's like, okay, you can sit down and talk to them at a table right across for a half hour for $1,000. You see, it's a great business I just came up with.
Isn't that escorting?
It doesn't matter.
I just gotta, figure it out.
No, you just talk to them.
That's still us.
Oh, wow, so how was your flight? Oh, and they'll tell you about it. Yeah, you take their money and they're happy, you're happy.
But I just
Nobody came.
I think it's crazy, and I probably could already answer my own question though. Like, I do not like, even though maybe the people I don't talk to are of like highest caliber, I always have somebody I could be like, hey, I just bought a new camera. You know what I mean? And like, it really has my heart where I'm like, do these people really not have anybody like that? You know, like I could try, like, not to toot my own horn, but like, I literally don't even go out. I don't go on dating apps. Like, I really don't socially interact. And I still have so many dudes like trying to date me. And I'm just like, I get it, but I don't get it at the same time.
Yeah, but hey, man, that happens, and I guess I'll hit you up later. No.
Yeah, applications.
Bob, do you get that a lot? Like, do you get anybody like fans?
Just a bunch of men hitting you up all the time.
Yeah, some of these guys, you know what I mean? They live in their mom's basement, and they come after me. You know, no, you know what I mean? I don't even know anymore. I'm not even in that kind of mind anymore because I'm really happy to seek extra pussy. You know what I mean? It's like, why would you go when you can get everything that you need at home and you're happy? Why would you mess it up?
Right.
Yeah, no.
Please tell
chasing
me
girls is a
that.
young
Why
man's
would
game.
you?
I think chasing girls is like a young man's game. It's like 20 when you're in your 20s and stuff. It's like a young man's game. But like by the time I'm like 30 in my 30s and shit, I'm like, oh, I've been in a relationship for like longer. My parents been together at this point. You know, I've been together like 7 years with my wife. Like,
No, but let's talk about that, because I dated somebody that was 45, and we were like in an open relationship, and I was like, I don't really want to be with somebody that is only hooking up with girls for like self-validation. And if you're not emotionally connected, then like what the fuck else are you doing it for? And it was just like him having his freedom, and like I get that, but I was just like, I just don't see, like, I'm like, you got me, like things are good, you're busy. I don't see why like you really need that like extra shit to like just kind of feel like more like a man type of thing. I don't
You know what it is? There's a guy that likes to push his fucking bet up in the table and keep putting it up, and that, you know what I mean? He should be fucking happy with it. Just fucking stop it already.
Thank you.
Just want $1 million. Don't go for 2. Just get your money,
Exactly.
get out, cash out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You walk away from the table and you're fucking happy. You know what I mean? You don't get to that point to be happy in life many times with somebody, because it usually doesn't work out. That's why I've been married 4 times. But one thing I love, I am, instead of being an idiot, I'm a romantic before that. So I give it another try, because, and if you add up the years, there was some good runs. This has been 4, and we're happy. We just redid the house. We're putting in a built-in pool.
It looks nice.
It looks great.
Yeah.
This ain't my house. I don't know what this is. This is a background that you fuckers, this new fucking rest stream. What is it? Is it a rest stop fucking filming thing? I mean, I never heard of it. And also, I have a green screen there, and I go to they hit this, and then they go, there's the green screen thing. And this is the thing that popped up. None of my stuff is there. I mean, look at me. I'm in a fucking.
You're doing great. You're doing a great job.
I'm doing great so far. I'm like Frankie McDonald.
I'm proud of you.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm doing great so far.
I had Frankie on a podcast before. That guy's crazy.
I love him. I think
great.
he's on In Hot Water with Gino Visconti every day, and it's just so fun. He is better than most comedians. He is better than almost all the guests.
I want to see him high. I want to see what he's like high.
He is high, you understand? right now, like he's got that high. God gave him that high.
Fair.
You see, that's what it is. People don't understand that. Most people that are mentally challenged in any kind of way are probably the happiest people you'll ever see. And that is the fucking truth. And you can see it everywhere you go. Because I got to work with Beetlejuice, and like I was a magnet to them. Like because I was nice to them, you know, and they're always happy. So why would you not, why would you fuck with them? They're hilarious when they're being themselves, you know what I mean? And I've never seen happier people. If I could, I'd rent out retards on the weekend. I'd be a millionaire.
Retards for rent.
You're telling me you wouldn't want one for like this weekend, Memorial Day weekend? You wouldn't want one on a Sunday?
I'd do one for this podcast. Like this would kill. Like a bunch of comics. Oldie fans started a midget or a fucking retard, whatever the fuck, that'd be hilarious. Can we call them retards still, midgets, or is there's like
of course you can?
Are all words banned now?
Yeah, like, you can't say it on Twitter.
Listen, when I went to ED, I don't know if I can pull it up. I went to EDC and there was like this whole little area is called the Little Bar, and you literally went in there and it was a bunch of midgets, and then like all the furniture was small, and I was like, can they be doing this in this type of climate, like political climate? It was crazy. It was so cool. My friend
drank the top shelf there, huh?
Yeah, they had like little mini shots, and my friend's like 5'11", and she's like, I didn't like it. I was like, dude, because you're tall, like it freaked her out.
You hit your head on the third floor. No, but like I watch. I'm hooked on mid. I watch the Little Channel, TLC, the Little Channel. I watch. I love all those midget shows. I watch them all the time. I was so excited that Little People Big World came back because I love the father. He's got those lobster fingers, those fucking lobster claws. Look at his place. Look at it. Look at them having the time of their life.
Yeah, and look, and then the little Elvis guy's coming out.
Look at them. This is right after the fucking house dropped on the witch.
They're having the time of their life because life is too short.
Life is too short like that.
Life is too short, man.
the
life is too me.
It was so fun.
You don't watch Little People Big House. The little guy with that lobster fingers, you want to dip him in butter and fucking suck on his fingers.
What is this on TLC? What's this?
TLC, the Little People Big World. He goes, I'm going to go build her a new deck. I'm like, no, you're not with those fucking hands. He's got a fucking cane. He's hobbling around like it's like fucking Willow.
I need to watch this now. I need a TiVo it next to my 600-pound life.
I love it. They're midgets and they're fucking. They do stuff. They all have a stool. They ride around on a fucking golf cart. They fucking live it up, man. It's fucking. I love watching it. And then I look at it. I go, how can I complain? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have to run to jump up a curb.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're enjoying their life. That's what it's. When you look at other people that are fucked up and you complain about your fucking life, you know what I mean? It's bullshit, man.
Yeah. I had a midget on the podcast, and he came into the studio, and it was great. And he had to crawl up the stairs. He's not technically, he doesn't have dwarfism. He had something where he's broken like 100 bones in his body, and the bones don't grow right. Something with the calcium, but the first thing I asked him was, I was like, so midget, dwarf, are you Irish? Is it leprechaun? Like, what's going on? And he's like, call me whatever you want. Just don't ignore me. And him and I ended up going out for a drink afterwards. And we walked into this neighborhood bar, and I know a bunch of people there, and everybody just stops and looks. And he, like, nothing changed. He climbed up onto the stool and this and that. We were having a drink, and he was making tall people jokes. So I was like, all right, well, I started making short people jokes. And we started going back and forth, and more people got offended about it than he did. Like, he was laughing his ass off. And like, he's like, well, I've heard them all. So I had to get creative with it. And it was like a whole big thing, but everybody else was getting offended, and he fucking loved it. And we were just shooting the shit. Dude, it's amazing, like, how some people, they think that somebody else is offended because, they're different from us. It's like,
yeah,
they're called white people. They're called white people that do that. They have to take a stand for everyone else. I'd like to hear people that have a problem say stuff. It's amazing that they have to go, I can't believe what you do. Well, nobody does that. Stop it. Let somebody complain about it that should be talking.
Yeah, dude, it's always the people like that, like calling people like racist and sexist and all this shit. It's always like some fucking like idiot that has nothing to do with it. Like that's the problem with like the words like faggot and like retard, like different words like that. They'll be like, oh, my friend's a faggot. You can't say that. I'm like, did you just call your friend a faggot? Like that's like it's like insane, you know? Or like hey, my sister's retarded. I'm like, did you just call your sister? It's like something you call your buddies just to like fucking bust balls. You're never like being like a mentally handicapped person being retarded or like a homosexual being a faggot or whatever words, you know. It's like it's something you just like fuck with people with. Like
that happened to me, dude. That happened to me. I said to my friend, and I go, oh, fuck these retards. And he goes, my sister's retarded. I go, I fucked a retard?
That's the only way out. Is like make it worse because you can't cater to this mob, man. Like it gives us like we have no comedians left or no entertainment. Like they're making like fucking Ice Age 14 and like fucking Spider-Man 45 and shit. You know, it's like fucking ridiculous. Like
the whole thing is you come there, you're gonna laugh your balls off. But if you don't, if you're gonna get offended and not understand that everyone else is dying, that's your problem. You shouldn't be out. You know, you shouldn't be out yet. Maybe you should stay in a house for another 2 years because you're not ready to come out. You're not ready.
Those people did sit in the house for like 2. That was insane. That was like a giant IQ test. I watched these people just like hide and shit. It's fucking weird, man. Like,
how is it over there? Like how is it over there on the coast, like New Jersey, San Diego, or wherever? Like, is like, are people still like real COVID like in a COVID frenzy or something like that, or is it more like getting back
more here? Really, I mean, like people wear the mask but nobody bothers them. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like
to each your own.
Yeah, it's like I remember when COVID first started. I went into like a store, it's like a deli, and I walk in there and they go, "Where's your mask?" And I go, "I left." And some lady goes, "You hate black people." I'm like, "How'd this come in?" I go, what's going on here? It's like everybody has lost their mind.
How they know that?
Did you double down and say, "Hell yes, I do"?
Like, they know you hate black people. That's like like right on the head. They're psychic, man. They're psychic.
Oh,
Bob's only breathing on black people when he goes into these stores without a mask. That's why they can.
But it's like it's white people complain because white people are insane. White people that lose their mind, that think that white people that think that they know more than they really know are the worst people around.
Yeah, it's always like a fat person too. We don't claim fat people and white people anymore. We white people also like claim the modern world, like the iPhone and shit. You know, there's like a huge like gray area of like people that fucking suck. You know, and it's like I don't know. It's like always some fat person with like a shaved side haircut thing. Like they're just like, here's my opinion, and like they're always calling everything racist because they're racist. Like if you like they're like that's racist. I'm like you're probably racist if you saw race in that. It's like weird.
Exactly. Yeah.
I never thought about race or anything like that until everybody started saying it. I never looked at anybody I met like black people. Like I just looked at them as friends. You know, it's like you didn't think black and white. You didn't think this gay. Like faggot was just somebody that's you fucking faggot because he didn't do something you wanted.
Yeah, it still is. I think it still is.
Exactly. And a retard is you're an idiot, not a retarded person. A retarded person, is fun. You're just a retard.
Our president's retarded. It's normal now, you know.
Yeah.
It's like we have the first retarded president. You know,
they've cracked that glass ceiling. They've finally gotten the top.
Even
the high.
Has Asperger's or something?
Oh, I don't know. You got to sort of talk.
Asperger's is something you can use for your own genius. Actually, it is. It's actually something most people that have Asperger's are very. They get locked into something that they do and makes them so great because it's a thing. You hooked on this. You hooked on this. You hooked on this. But once you find out you're
did something happen to him? Is he pausing?
Frozen in time.
Come back. He was making a good point too.
I know he was killed it. He was killed it. He just froze in time.
Dude, Asperger's though. No, like I knew this guy. He had Asperger's, and you could tell him your birthday, and he could tell you the day of the week that it was on. But he was doing the math in his head, and it's like it's so crazy.
I had an
Crazy.
ex I dated for like 2 years, and he's very successful, and he's very Asperger's.
Really? Like
He was like,
legit or
no, absolutely. I don't like people have Asperger's. No, like
Okay.
very much, and he didn't even know it until he was like in his 30s,
yeah.
and just like it makes sense because he would just say some shit, then people would be like, he's so rude and disrespectful, but he like literally just didn't know. But he did a lot of drugs, and like he felt like that was like made him able to like connect to his emotions more. But like he's like at the end of a relationship, he's like, I expect you to respond like a computer because I understand computers. And I'm like,
So do you put on a computer voice anytime you say like yes or no? Yeah, there you go.
bless his heart though.
Yeah, no, it's
I
crazy.
only eat Asperger's. It's like the only burger I eat.
Those shitty burger joints, man. Fucking yeah, I think all of us are a little like on the spectrum. Like when they say spectrum, like you're on the spectrum, that's just like that's just a throwaway. Like the spectrum's huge. Like you
Yeah.
can be a little bit over here, you can be a little bit over there. Like
Well, with all the chemicals and shit that we're exposed to, all of us are a little fucked up, you know?
absolutely. Just look at Anthony again. What happened to Bob? Now, like,
His Sylvie got blacked out. His screen got blacked out and stuff.
Oh, man. I'm just imagining him cursing it out right now.
We have like
Gosh.
323 people watch this right now. I don't know if I'm going to end this. I've been talking for. I feel like we've been talking for fucking ever. Like, do we keep this going or keep going?
Well, I think something happened because it dropped from like 300 something, and now like I'm on Facebook right now, and it says only 3.
Yeah, let's get out of here then.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't ever start your own podcast. Watch other people's podcasts. Let us live your dream for you. Give us all your money. God bless you and have a good day. I'm out.
Bye.